Lawrence Frazier, Township. Kelly Fallon, Superintendent of Schools.
Eric Gurriel, Board President.
Betty DiStefano, Board Vice President.
Paul Keller, Board Trustee.
John Farrell, Assistant Superintendent for Secondary Education.
Patrick Harrigan, Deputy Superintendent.
I'd like to thank Mrs. Littell for having us here today. So,
Good evening. Thank you. I'm Karen Littell, and I'm the principal of Sunquam Elementary School. I'd like to welcome Mrs. Fallon, the Board of Education, Central Office Administrators, and guests to Sunquam Elementary, home of the Sunquam Stars. I'd also like to recognize the members of Sunquam's professional learning community that are with us this evening, our Assistant Principal, Ms. Haltigan, teachers, staff, Sunquam parents, and students. Would you please stand to be recognized? Thank you. And the parents, you guys didn't stand. Sunquam offers children in grades K through 5 stimulating and rigorous learning opportunities within a safe, nurturing, and supportive setting. A partnership of teachers, staff, parents, and the community at large works together to build a professional learning community and create an environment that fosters the intellectual, social, emotional, and physical development of every child. By providing instruction that informs, inspires, and challenges, we hope to instill a love of learning that continues throughout children's lives. Our goal is to help each child develop an enthusiasm for learning, a respect for self and others, and the skills to become independent, creative thinkers. At Sunquam, we embrace the challenges of the 21st century while we continue to cherish and celebrate the traditions of the past. It is our remarkable staff, involved parents, and eager children who come together to make Sunquam such a wonderful school. For the past few weeks, I had the privilege of having several lunch dates with 2 students as we prepared for this evening's presentation. And I have to compliment them on being 2 of the finest public speakers that I have ever had the chance to work with. They needed minimal guidance and direction to be prepared to address you this evening. It is with great pleasure that I invite 2 members of our student population to the podium, our President of Student Council, Josh Sukoff, and our Vice President, Alexa Eilberg.
Good evening. We would like to welcome Mrs. Fallon, the Board of Education, Central Office Administrators, Ms. Littell, Ms. Haltigan, members of the Sunquam community, and guests to our school, Sunquam Elementary, home of the Sunquam Stars.
My name is Alexa, and I am the Vice President of Student Council.
My name is Josh, and I am the President of Student Council.
And we represent the students of Sunquam. We are both 5th graders and have spent the past 6 years as Sunquam Stars, and for that we are very thankful. As you know, this week our country celebrates Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is a holiday that originated in our country in 1621. Throughout history, many cultures have given thanks for a bountiful harvest.
Their celebrations may be different, but their spirit of setting aside to date to reflect on life's blessings remain the same. The season of warmth and togetherness is here. Thanksgiving is a time to be thankful for the blessings in our lives.
I am thankful for a lot of things, but there are 3 things I am thankful for that really stand out to me. First, I am thankful that I have the privilege to go to a great school. School is a place where I can learn, make new friends, and get my education. Without school, I wouldn't know how to read or write. I am very lucky to go to school, and I am very thankful for that. Another thing I am thankful for is that I live in a safe and resourceful community. My community is has so many incredible things to offer, like having one of the finest school districts around. In addition, we have an amusement park, a tremendous shopping mall, and one of the best baseball complexes on Long Island. My community is filled with people that can always count on each other, and I am very thankful to be one of those people. Finally, I am thankful that I have a compassionate family who loves me unconditionally. Without them, I wouldn't be the person I am today.
Thanksgiving is one of my most favorite holidays for two reasons. One, I was born on Thanksgiving morning in 2003. Two, I love giving back to people who have helped me achieve great things in life. And Thanksgiving is a great time to do that. Thanksgiving is also a time of year which reminds me of how thankful I am for my amazing education. I am so lucky to be a 5th grader at Sunpalm Elementary School. This school provides me with everything I need to prepare me for middle school, high school, and even college. Probably the most important thing that I am thankful for are the teachers at Sunpalm who have inspired me to do great things. My self-confidence got stronger. My drive and passion for technology and learning got stronger. And overall, I became an 11-year-old boy who is better prepared to tackle the challenges in life that lie ahead. I am also thankful for the community in which I live. I am lucky to have many friends in the community who provide me with support in times of need. I am thankful for living in the United States of America. I have the ability to do great things because my country gives me freedom. I've learned that many people around the world do not have the freedom to receive good education or make their own decisions. I am very thankful that my country allows me the opportunity to live a great life and be successful and happy. Last but not least, I am very thankful that my family gives me love and the motivation to do a great job in school and life.
In the spirit of Thanksgiving and sharing, we would like to take this opportunity to share with you some of the things that Sunpalm students are capable of.
I'm thankful for my friends because they're awesome.
I'm thankful for my dog. I'm thankful for my cat. I'm thankful for my food, for the food that my mommy makes for me. I'm thankful for my friend James. I am thankful for my family and my brother. I'm thankful for all the nice things I have. I'm thankful for my long hair. I'm thankful for my personality because I am funny. I'm thankful for music and Mr. Janata's show. I'm thankful for singing. I'm thankful for sports. I'm thankful for my gym teacher. I'm thankful for the library because I love books, and books give you the power of reading. I'm thankful for being here. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see
also like to recognize all the people at Sunpalm who give their time and energy to making our school an awesome place to come to every day. Thank you to Mrs. Fallon and the Board of Education for providing our school with the talented staff and resources to be learners in the 21st century.
We are thankful to live in the Hollow Hill School District, wishing you and your families a happy and healthy Thanksgiving. On behalf of Student Council, we want to thank you for visiting our school.
Thank you to Ms. Littell for asking us to speak to you all tonight. Good night.
Thank you, Josh and Alexa. You did an outstanding job representing our school. I'm very proud of both of you, and I'm going to miss our lunch dates. Thank you also to your parents for allowing you to come out this evening to address the community. Also, thank you to Ms. Haltergan for putting together the video presentation. And now I'd like to turn the meeting over to the Board of Ed. Thank you.
I would like to thank both of you for speaking. It is wonderful to see that the next generation coming up has such bright stars as both of you are. So it is our absolute pleasure to be here this evening. Thank you for everything that you've done. It was very, very impressive. I'd also like to note that we have several guests here this evening. We have Richard Haas, the president of the Teachers Union. We have Lori Levine, president of the Parents Union. And we also have Alyssa Taff, former president of the school board of Hollow Hills, and a key reason why we're sitting in this building this evening. So thank you for coming out this evening. And I'd also like to recognize Wendy Nallo, the president of our PTA. And finally, there's one special group I'd like to recognize, and that is Angela Barry and the Boy Scouts who are here this evening, who are attending a public meeting so that they can obtain their citizenship and the community badge. So welcome this evening, and we look forward to having you at the meeting this evening. Before we get into the real agenda for tonight, I wanted to just take a moment, and many members of the community have heard what transpired at Hills East recently. There was a threat that was emailed into the district, and it was a bomb threat. The detail of that was communicated to the community, and everything that we were made aware of, we've been able to communicate to the community. As I started to think about it, a couple things came to mind. One is, like, how could someone in our community do this? How could one of our children, theoretically, or a member of our community, or a disgruntled member who has a concern and wants to act out negatively towards our community, it really, had me thinking a lot. And a couple of things came to mind that I think were important. One was, what a shame that we had 2 days of school, theoretically wasted for our children. Our children are in fear, parents are in fear, parents are running to the school to pick their children up, parents are not sending their children to school, and an absolute shame. And when I started to think about it, I started to think, like, how many people do we employ in that building? For argument's sake, there's 250 people. How much do those people make? And when you start thinking about it, you start thinking the fact that our children missed out on an educational day means that our children were robbed. They were robbed of all of that effort and time and money that the district spent to put people in that building, and then for all of the effort to protect the children and and to inspect every child that walked in, to have the police there, and to deal with, purchasing services for bomb-sniffing dogs, to make sure that that building was safe for our children to go into. And I started thinking about it, to be quite honest, I was outraged. I am absolutely outraged that we had to spend several $100,000 that my child, who's a senior at Hills East, will not get the benefit of. And, my perspective on this is that this is in police hands at this point in time. There's nothing that the district can do at this point in time. It is 100% in the hands of law enforcement. Law enforcement is moving their investigation along. I can say that as a citizen, not as a board president, but as a citizen, I truly hope that that person is found, and I truly hope that that person is prosecuted for the multiple $100,000 that they cost us as a community, and the security the lack of security that some people feel as a result of those actions. So I just wanted to make sure that I address that with everyone and you kind of understand where we are coming from. We want this situation to be resolved as quickly as possible. We know that the police are actively working on this. We know that it is a high priority for Suffolk County PD. And all we can say is that, we hope that there's a speedy resolution. So I apologize if I'm on my soapbox too long here, but I just wanted everyone to understand kind of the perspective that we share.
In addition to Mr. Garrett's comments, I would just like to share when the district is in receipt of any information from the Suffolk County Police Department and we are able to communicate to the community, we will in fact do so as soon as possible. But at this point in time, we have no information to share, as Mr. Garrett stated, as no information to be provided to the district. When we do have it, we will let the community know.
And at this point, I would like to turn the meeting over to Mrs. Fallon.
Thank you, Mr. Garrett-Walden. And I would just like to take a moment to thank Josh and Alexa for being with us this evening for that wonderful presentation that you provided to our community. And you have put our assistant superintendents on the hot seat now because they've got a hard act to follow as they now present some information to the community and everything that regarding everything that's happening in our district. So thank you. Mrs. Vitaliana.
Thank you, Mrs. Fallon. And in the spirit that the students brought forward with Mrs. Littell, I'm going to speak with you about some things that I'm very thankful for in regards to the elementary program and specifically the subject of science. And just to maybe remind some of our residents, and not some to actually just know about it, but just to celebrate what we're very proud of. And three of the programs at the elementary level that I would like to report out on our district planetarium program for elementary students, the Discovery Center, and engineering club that take place at the elementary level. So in the planetarium, all students in our district in kindergarten through grade 5 get to visit this fantastic facility located in our high school. And each one of the experiences that the students have at every grade level is a very visual experience and pretty outstanding for a school district to have in a planetarium. Although each trip to the planetarium is a unique experience, it's tailored to each group, the grade level's interest, each student leaves the planetarium with certain concepts. So quickly I'd like to run you through in kindergarten when our youngest students, our youngest scientists go to the planetarium, they begin to learn and have ideas reinforced about fundamental concepts like the changing of the seasons, daytime and nighttime, and the movements of the Earth, the planet, and the sun. In grade 1, the size and scale of the universe is explored with students. They're an awe-inspiring topic for the first grade trip. The students learn about how they're part of something so much bigger than themselves and that the matter in their bodies is made up of so much more stuff than they ever imagined. Moving on from first grade, another visit takes place in the second grade. And in second grade, the focus connected curriculum is on Earth formation, moon grade 5 astronomers learn about the chemistry of stars and how the matter they produce is the same material that makes up all living things on Earth. Students receive some basic knowledge on the building blocks of all living things, the cell. Students also learn about the formation and the history of the Earth over its 4.5 billion years of existence. So again, Star Planetarium program for elementary students is vibrant, strong, and they're very, very proud of it. We want to give you a journey through Thank you to the employees who have that program running so well. Mr. Fodagato and the planetarium does a fantastic job. His enthusiasm for this topic is quite remarkable. Our Discovery Center is another place where our students go on field trip right within our school district. And every year, thousands of our Capitol students visit the Discovery Center. They learn science through exciting hands-on experiments. So you have the visual experiments at the planetarium, and then hands-on experiments at each of the grade levels. In first grade, students go through a program of mystery boxes, and I can go into more detail on that with you. They need to first understand the scientific method, and they explore that. They use their senses by shaking closed boxes with a single item in each of the boxes, and they know that the box can contain 5 disclosed items. After predicting, the box is open and they see whether their prediction is correct. Next, they use their senses to touch, reach into mystery bags, and make predictions about the contents. So in first grade, their inquiry skills are building, and they each in every grade level have the same experience. Wonderful opportunity for our first graders. They go through other stations at that Discovery Center, including a classification station, weather people, swine, and germs. So if you have a first grader, make sure you speak to them about their Discovery Center. In second grade, our students visit multiple stations as well. They visit the water cycle station, moon phase cycle station, life cycles, magnetism, and our solar system. You begin to see a theme how the curriculum that is developed in the Discovery Center is supported by what happens in the planetarium, and certainly about what happens in the science program within the schools. In third grade, their visits include stations to hot air balloon races, extreme weather, force and motion roller coasters, exploring Mars, and gears. In fourth grade, students go through stations, hands-on stations again, about measuring volume and mass. You begin to see the themes and connectedness to the planetarium, electricity and magnetism, magnetic levitation racetrack, energy transfer station, and exploring Mars. And finally, in fifth grade, our students go through Discovery Center through stations of hands-on experience as a rocket scientist. They explore microscopic light, have a mission to Mars. They go through an earthquake engineer station and find out what rocks can tell us. And that's, in a nutshell, our Discovery Center visit for our students. Beginning of an introduction to robotics as they move forward. The district offers engineering clubs for 4th and 5th grade students, and the clubs consist of 3 8-week alternating sessions for 5th grade, 4th grade, and then 5th grade. Club advisors are provided with an engineering challenge to present to students containing specific criteria and constraints. Students are allowed to use supplied Lego kits to build their projects, fishing rod, train, race car. There were some examples to fulfill the requirements that are outlined in each of the challenges. And at the conclusion of each of the 8-week sessions, the clubs from each elementary school are invited over to the Discovery Center, and there they display their challenges and present, as you saw the wonderful presenters today here at Sun Farm. They use their presentation skills and test their designs under their peers. So that's and again, in a brief nutshell, some elementary science things to celebrate and be thankful for. So thank you for the time. Thank you, Mr. O'Farrell.
Thank you, Mrs. Fallon. Students in the Senior Experience Program at both high schools have been working on their internships and have been piloting iPads in their classrooms. The students are using the iPads for a variety of purposes, and we'll be reporting out on their benefits throughout the year. As a district, we're using this as an opportunity counted 270 students enrolled. Feedback from teachers is that they feel energized and excited to be teaching the course. Students have reported feeling challenged but prepared and are looking forward to a successful year. This past Saturday, the FL Bills robotics team hosted their annual invitation tournament at High School West. Students, so we had teams from 20 different school districts compete in this friendly event that serves as a warm-up for the regional tournament in March at Oxford University. As part of the Think Pink fundraiser for breast cancer awareness during the month of October, the district raised more than $7,000. This included fundraisers in each of our buildings as well as many of our athletic teams. And last but not least, in athletics, our FL Bills High School West varsity football team has been tremendously successful. They will play this Saturday for the Division II County Championships. So I'm the president for
Thank you. That's Meredith.
One thing I'd just like to point out, Mr. Taliato was talking about some of the STEM work, and many of you know about a program we've had at the middle school for a number of years called the Rising Stars, and we've added a new piece that's going to take place this month with a local architecture and engineering firm. And again, they actually approached us about their next generation of employees, and one of the conversations that we had was we have this group of dynamic middle school students called the Rising Stars, and they will be visiting H2N, which is an architectural engineering firm right here in Melville, right here in our district. They've also been part of the senior experience, and also at some point this year will be working with us towards some of our elementary clubs, trying to get some young engineers and architects to really energize our students to be even more excited about science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So this is a local company, and their headquarters is situated within the district, and they reached out to us to be a part of connecting to students and helping motivate them in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and someday hopefully also becoming their future engineers and architects. We have students there from the senior experience, and also some students doing research with their firm as part of the ACE program, which is something for students 9 to 12. So that was a new initiative that we got rolling this summer. We've seen a lot of it take off here early in the fall.
Thank you, Dr. And Ms. Orlando?
Thank you, Mrs. Fallon. I'm very happy to share with everyone that patience is a virtue, and we just received the other day FEMA approval for our high school East generator. What that means is, if you'll remember back from the budget process, we were very open and shared with you that we had submitted to FEMA as part of a separate damage that had happened over at Candlewood with one of our roofs on the portable building, that we ended up taking down the portable building. It wasn't needed and it wasn't safe at that point because of the volume of snow that was on that roof and causing structural issues. So we had presented, working with our local FEMA representatives, whether or not we could submit an alternate project to them, because we didn't necessarily need the building rebuilt over at Candlewood. And we worked with them to identify a separate project, which was very specifically to spend money on a full backup emergency generator system for High School East, such that High School East could serve as a fully functioning instructional facility, our largest facility, and ultimately a community resource in the event that we ever went through another Hurricane Sandy or any of the other disasters that we've gone through in terms of weather the past 3 years. FEMA had us on hold. It was up within the red tape at the federal level, and literally just the other day we received approval of getting $397,000. And again, if you'll remember from the budget process, we had also budgeted the other half of that money, which was about $400,000, hoping that we got the approval from FEMA. The agreement was that if we did not get their money, we wouldn't be spending our money, and the project would simply not happen. We just received their money, so we are now going to be moving forward with our architects to design the specifications for that full back of the High School East, which will essentially keep that building running without interruption at a moment's notice should that building lose power. So we are very excited about it. It will be a process to get to the point of state approving the actual specifications, but we at least have to go ahead to move forward with that, and we are very excited about it.
Thank you. You're welcome.
One thing that I'd like to share with the community is, as a school board, we focus on many different things.
Can't hear you.
And we get get involved in as a school board, we get involved in a number of different endeavors in terms of how the district is kind of focused. And really, one of the things that I wanted to make sure is that, people understand the role of the school board really is kind of like the role of the board of a Fortune 500 company, for argument's sake. And the idea is that the board of the Fortune 500 company does not set the day-to-day agenda. It doesn't manage the day-to-day operations. That really is left to the CEO and the CFO and the COO and the other executives. Really, what the board does is kind of set policy and focuses kind of on where we're going and the things that need to be done. I'll call them the bigger ideas, as opposed to making sure that every laptop that's in the district has a sticker on it and that we know where every single laptop is, throughout the district. That really is beyond the purview of the board. So, as we started to think about, so what are the big areas that we need to focus on to ensure that we continue to provide outstanding education to our children, we really thought about, kind of four, I'm going to call them big areas, and those are financial and operational management. So it's important that as a board that we really look at the financial and operational management and continue to manage that in the correct direction. Make sure that we're providing educational opportunities for all learners. And then